Imagine buying gas for 34 cents a gallon. Well, that's what it was in 1968, the year I was born. You could buy a brand new car for $2,822, and minimum wage was $1.60 an hour. Seeing a movie would only cost you $1.50 per ticket, and the cost of a new house was $14,900. Monthly rent, if you chose not to own a house but rent, was $130 a month. The average person's income was $7,850 a year. These are fun facts. Popular movies of 1968 were Rosemary's Baby, Planet of the Apes, Once Upon a Time in the West, and A Space Odyssey. Popular songs were I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye, Hey Jude by the Beatles, Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, and Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones. The president at this time was Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, and the vice president was Hubert Humphrey. In this same year, 1968, the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl. "1968 is a memorable, unforgettable year, and 8 of those memorable events I'm going to go over with you now. The first one happened on January 23rd. North Korea captured the USS Pablo. This started an 11-month crisis that could possibly worsen Cold War tension, and tension was already high. It is reported while the crew members were being held, they were beaten and starved. The crew members made it home by Christmas, but the USS still remains in Korea and never made it back to the United States. North Vietnam launched TT offensive against the U.S. and South Vietnam. This was the beginning and the end of our involvement in the Vietnam War. On April 4th, a huge event took place. The leader of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 39 years old at the time. He was standing on the second floor of his balcony in a hotel called the Lorraine Motel. When he was approximately shot at 6:01 p.m. and he was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. This saddened America, and African Americans felt like all hope was lost once this happened. He was the beginning to equal treatment for us, and we looked up to him highly. So this was a tragic event. After King was assassinated, Robert Kennedy was assassinated in Los Angeles just 2 months later. Robert Kennedy, like Martin Luther King, stood up for equal rights for everyone, no matter what your color was. This incident took place after his speech at the Ambassador Hotel. He died at the age of 42, very young. The next thing that happened this year was the first 747 Boeing jumbo jet is introduced. It's the largest plane we've ever seen. It's the largest passenger aircraft. It weighed 300 tons and carried 374 passengers. This was unheard of at this time and a huge achievement and event. During the 1968 Olympics, 2 black athletes staged a silent demonstration, a protest, to protest against racial tension and racial discrimination. At this time, like I said, racial tension was very high because King had just been assassinated and because people did not want to see change in America or see equal rights across the board. So it was unheard of for African Americans to eat at the counter with a white person or a Caucasian person, or use the same water fountain or the same bathroom, or even stay at the same hotel. And even if you stayed at the hotel, you had to enter it from a different door. In November of 1968, however, Star Trek airs its first interracial kiss. This is the first time America has seen this, and it was unheard of because up until then we were completely separate and could not be together or eat together or do anything together. We were the lower class, and it was unheard of for this to happen, or for two people of a different race to even like each other or be with each other, and let alone be seen on TV by the rest of America. So this was a big step. Last but not least, that year, the Apollo 8 is the first spacecraft to orbit the moon. This was huge. This had never happened. And this was, again, a huge achievement. Lots of things happened this year. And that's why it's considered the most historic year in modern American history. This is what happened in 1968. Thank you.